Air recovery in Naruto Boruto Shinobi Striker, it's still such a hot button issue with the Shinobi Striker community. This video is going to be part explaining how air recovery works and why you can't recover sometimes, and part ranting, because I still think there are a lot of players that complain that this should be fixed, why is this still broken? When it's not broken, it just, you don't understand how the system works. And granted, it's not your fault for not understanding, the game should do a better job at explaining these systems. In fact, for all that I'm going to explain to you today on how the air recovery works, I still don't fully understand it myself. Though I do understand it a lot better after doing a lot of research for this video, which was requested by one of our god bushes. This whole channel is supported by audience members like you, and on Patreon we have this very high tier, which is $100 per month. Every god bush gets to suggest a video per month, and this is Dom's suggestion. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a topic that I should definitely cover, because this community kind of needs some education as far as air recovery goes, because I still hear people complaining about it all the time when it's actually their fault for falling. So thank you for your suggestion, but while researching all of this, I figured that I don't think anyone has the whole answer. First of all, there are no videos about this on YouTube, which I found kind of curious. I couldn't find any. If you know any good ones, feel free to link them in the comments below. But as I was trying to do some research, like, all I had was really my controller and the game. That was it. So how does air recovery work? First of all, here's what most people do when they get knocked back and they're about to fall in a pit. Yeah, this isn't gonna do much for you, is it? How do you air recover? This button, L2, the dash. This is how you recover. If this isn't working, doing this is gonna do nothing at all right? So, and this is also the dash button, okay? So, if you understand that, then you understand that while you're in the air in Naruto Boruto Shinobi Striker, you have one air dash. If that one air dash is the same one that you use to recover from a knockdown, that means if you've spent it already, you're done. You're going back down to the ground and you can't recover ever. That is like the big thing that I want to teach you today, the big conclusion that comes from all of this. Air recovery is the same as the dash. So stop doing this. Why? What did I do wrong? Well, you used the air dash without needing to. If something hit you from the back, if some jutsu just kind of knocked you down, that's it. Your air recovery is gone. So get used to doing this. Only if it's extremely necessary do you use the dash, or only if you know that it's gonna be safe. But after you're in the air, just don't do it. Save your dash in case some surprise jutsu hits you in the face. That way you can still recover. Now, to understand air recovery, you also need to understand the different types of knockdown that exist in Naruto. First of all, there are these, I'm gonna call them the soft knockdowns, which are the jutsu that hit you, usually the jutsu that remove your abilities, like the shark bomb. They knock you back, but your character automatically spins around and stands back up. You don't need to use air recovery at all. Once the character spins around and stands back up, you can just act normally without even using the air dash. What you need to worry about are what I'm calling the spinny knockdowns. These knockdowns that send your character out spinning, these are the ones that you need to worry about, because first of all, while you're spinning, you can't really do anything except substitution. If you don't have a substitution, you're gonna have to endure the spin. But the spin isn't infinite. No spin should kill you unless, like, you're very, very close to the pit. But after the spin is over, your character starts falling without spinning, and that's when you can use the air recovery, provided of course you haven't used the aerial dash yet. And it's important to know the difference, because a lot of people will, you know, spam the dash button, spam the air recovery, when really, like, they got hit by a jutsu that wasn't even worth spending their dash. Or while you're spinning, you're panicking, you're spamming that button too, and really that's doing nothing, and then you give up. God damn it! Very mad. The air recovery is broken, and actually the spin just ended, and now if you pressed it, it would work. So understand these two types of knockdown. The soft knockdown, you don't need to do anything, and the spinny knockdown, just wait for the spin to end, and then you can air dash out of there. Now that said, I did mention that I didn't fully understand the system yet, and here's where it gets super complicated. And I'd like to use this video and this platform as a way to start the conversation. Like, if you've got any contributions, feel free to make a follow-up video. If the developers aren't going to teach us this game, then as a community, let's try to learn it. Let's try to understand it a little bit better. Now, here's where it gets confusing. There seems to be some form of knockdown stacking. What's that mean? Let's say you got hit by a spinny knockdown, and then while you're spinning, you got hit by another ability that gives you the soft knockdown. The game seems really inconsistent on how it handles these two knockdowns at the same time. Sometimes it just doesn't give you any recovery. sometimes it just breaks. I don't know. There are a ton of glitches in this game. I don't know if you've noticed our top 10 series that we release every weekend. There are a lot of glitches. And one of the big things that happens all the time are wall splats. You see attack types causing these in combos all the time. They throw an opponent into the wall, and after they hit the wall, they can extend their combo. Well, the reason why they can extend their combo is because after you hit a wall, there's a certain time that you can't recover. Like you're just gonna fall. So even if you got hit by a soft knockdown ability, if you hit a wall, there's a good chance you might not be able to recover. And again, this one is a little bit inconsistent because there have been times where I was able to recover from a wall splat and other times where it just couldn't be done. So that's a situation that seems inconsistent. Another one is guard breaks. When someone guard breaks you, it seems that any small knockdown becomes like a really hard knockdown. And it makes sense. I mean, you just broke someone's guard, you should like remove their defensive capabilities, right? But once again, I've seen cases where air recovery was totally fine after a guard break and other cases where it just wasn't. Heck, you want a perfect example of how the game changed different types of knockdowns together? Just look at the wind shuriken. Sometimes that thing hits you once and you're completely fine. Sometimes that thing hits you forever and ever and you're sent into a spinny knockdown. Why? I mean, it's just a wind shuriken. It's the same ability, the same ninja tool. How does it do different types of knockdown? And that's precisely because I think there's this mechanic that stacks all the knockdowns together. If you're being hit while in a knockdown state, it's gonna escalate it and make it a lot worse. Now, the reason for all this instability is because, you know, the game itself is unstable. I see you guys crying out for fixing the air recovery. I honestly think that the air recovery is fine, it just needs some better explanation. What needs fixing is everything around the air recovery that makes the game unstable, and therefore the air recovery becomes messed up as well. I mean, sometimes you're just falling sideways for Bush's sake. How the hell does this knockdown and air recovery system work there? There was this play, one of the first plays that was submitted for our top 10 series, where this guy is standing on the wall, he's knocked into the air with a lariat, and then you see the camera turning. It's like first he was falling sideways, then he's falling vertically, and he just can't air recover at all. And you know, I don't know if he pressed the right buttons at the time or not, it's hard to tell, but there's a good chance that the game just interpreted that as a wall splat and didn't let him recover at all. And with that, I guess the question I want to leave to you is, what do you know about air recovery? We're trying to sort of piece this whole puzzle together. Do you think there is a logic to all of this, or it is just random and it is a fool's errand to do something of the sort? I'd love to get the conversation started, so I pass the question off to you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And thank you so much, Dom, for your suggestion. This was a badass suggestion, no doubt about it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you too like the videos we do, you're gonna love what we do behind the scenes. Head over to Patreon, find out how you can help this channel, like these top supporters on the left. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.